The Oracle of Visions Oracle by Ciro Marchetti is arguably one of the most gorgeous oracles available on the market today. It originally was only available as a collector's edition, which is a bit pricier than, thank you US Games, the new market release of the same oracle. And I'm just going to compare quickly the difference between the two of them and really show you the amazing quality that US Games has brought to this particular deck. The box, you can see, is really sturdy. It's a wonderful keepsake that you can keep for years and years. The original Oracle of Visions came in a very large box, and when you opened it up, there was a book inside, and the book explained kind of what each card was, a little bit about it, and color, and in the back there was information about how to approach the cards and read them. And there was a DVD. And on this DVD, it included these sorts of things. You have a puzzle of the pictures you could make. It had avatars, wallpapers, screensavers, and I want you to remember this at the bottom, Thoughts and Notes booklet. Keep that in mind. We'll be coming back to that. When we saw the cards in this deck, we noticed right away that there were gilded edges on it, bright ink, vibrant images with a glossy sheen to them. As you may know, Ciro's cards often come large. This is a large deck. He likes to make them large because he puts so much effort into the details of the art in his deck that he really wants to be able to have us enjoy and see all the little fine-tuned details you can see there. So when we look at the new version by US Games in its amazing box, nice and sturdy, we will see that it still has a nice book with it. This is not your typical little white book. This is one of the booklets that come with it. And it still has all the information that you would find in the original one with a black and white instead of color picture. So it'll tell you what each of the cards means. You'll have a nice image of it with the keyword, as keywords are not written on the cards. And then it tells a little bit more about it. Comparison of the cards. In terms of gloss, there's more gloss to the collector's edition. There's more matte to the market edition. It still maintains the amazing detail. I was very impressed with the detail. And the corners, except for being the slightest bit more severe on the newer version, everything looks similar. When you line them up side by side, I don't know if you can see this, there's top to bottom, no difference, but there's just a little bit of overlap. That's how close it comes to the original. Really close. Amazing. The card stock of this deck, so this is the collector's edition and this is the US Games version. I can't even tell the difference between the two. It's maybe even just the slightest bit thinner on this one, but they are so comparable, both sturdy. This is a really well-made deck, nice firm cards that aren't going to suddenly fold or bend on you. Because of the large size, it may be more difficult for small hands to shuffle. So when this happens, because I notice it's hard for me to almost reach end to end this way, what I usually do is I'll approach it this way. Or you can swish it and then pull your cards this way. 1, 2, 3. If we compare the color, the imagery precision, the clarity between the two decks, the results are exceptional. It's hard to really capture on video here, but they are almost absolutely identical. The font is the same. There's actually, I think, even a little more color in the US Games one. See how with the yellow in the time machine or the clock is more vibrant and her hair has a bit more sepia tone to it. So it's really beautifully done. I guess there's a little more yellow tone in this one because even the clovers have a little bit more yellow to it. Really, really crisp, clear, bright. Same thing on the backs. We're looking at a really bright comparison here. The two look almost identical. It's really hard for me to tell which is which unless I really just turn it to the side and see which one has the gilded edge. This card as well, you can see, almost identical, perhaps a little bit more yellow hue here, which gives it a little bit more brightness in the US Games version. And this, as detailed as it is, they maintain that and do a really beautiful job. I think US Games, I really want to send out some fireworks in the sky for this amazing job that you did to allow this to be an affordable deck to even the casual collector. So let's take a look at some of the images in the US Games version. You will notice there are no keywords. This was a decision that Chiro made very consciously. He figured it would have more of a widespread meaning to more people. There is a number at the top, which is important if you want to look the meaning of the card up in the book to get kind of a diving board or a jump spot to sail off your reading. So this is number 16. So if we go to the book, we just look for number 16 and you'll see an image that shows you're at the right place. It'll tell you what some of the suggested meanings are, but there are no constraints to this. If you see something else, you may need to see that and use whatever it is that you see. Chiro mentioned that one of the reasons that he made this deck is because he really wanted to get out of the constraints of tarot. He had felt that he was kind of put into a tight box as an artist with tarot. He had to do things in certain colors, styles, had to have certain things in there. And he had ideas that he wanted to put into cards that had more of a free flow, meanings he wanted them to mean, but also he could get a little bit more creative with the images. Many of the card meanings in the book are really, really beautiful, and if you really want to take it even a step further, there is a surprise for you. Look at this. So you have the aged person and the younger version of the person, and they're both looking through the same mask, and you wonder, do they see things more differently through one perspective than the other? Such a profound card. Stepping into the future again, this could be a great fool. More contemplative, meditative, very logical, lots of numbers and thinking. The creatrix reminds me rather of the magician. So really beautiful, beautiful images. I know people consider Thomas Kinkade the artist of light. I would argue that Chiro is the artist of light. You can see there's all these little sparks of light in his images. This has a lot to do with music and wonderful things. The baby, and he's got that baby in that crystal ball. Releasing the butterflies. The illusionist. So you can see there's a lot of fun here. Let's take a look at putting these cards into an actual reading. And I'm going to show you something else that you can access for these. Doesn't this remind you of the Devil card? The snake. Little Red Riding Hood. How will she access that key if it's stuck in the ball and she needs to put it in the box? We have the carousel horse and he's breaking free. He becomes alive. What could that mean to you? The dolls are watching. Contemplating, sitting, dreaming. Really beautiful. Her wings are tied up with ribbon. Hard for her to fly. She looks very upset, but you'll notice what's available to her. Lots of pictures, memories. One of my favorite cards in the deck. She's healing this dove who seems to have a broken wing. Flow of time. So let's take a look at something that will allow you to go a little more deeply. If you want to start a journal with this, here's an idea that will help you take your readings into a deeper place and allow the cards to become a bit more meaningful. So if you get your iPad or your computer and you go to ChiroMarchetti.com, you will find a beautiful website, and on the far right you'll see the word free. You're going to want to click on that. And then you will find this nice Oracle of Visions Thoughts and Notes book. When we looked at the DVD, it had it at the bottom here, and now it's available as a free PDF. And you can download this whether or not you purchase the actual deck. So when we take a look at this, it will open a beautiful PDF. You will find a beautiful book. There's your Thoughts and Notes book, and it's basically a workbook to help you work with the deck. So for example, if you have this card, which is card number 1, it allows you to consider some additional meanings for this card, as well as questions to ask when you get this card. And you may even pull another card to answer that question. You can use tarot to do that. You can just use your thoughts. It's meant to be a kind of a way to stop and think about the cards. Here's another example. So you have card number 2. She's walking with all the birds. She's wearing a beak. Additional meanings. And then questions to ask if you pull this card. This particular document is 55 pages. The book itself in the back does show ways to interpret the cards, and it shows how different readers may see different things in the same card with actual examples of what different readers saw in those cards. He also discusses card combinations, so you can take a 6-card line here. It talks about what you might see in that. So to explore my card spread, we'll be using a book by Sasha Graham, brand new. It's called 365 Tarot Spreads. You get a tarot spread a day, and this is the digital download version, so we'll be doing this together. Thanks, Sasha, for this amazing book. We'll be using Chiro's card. Even though this is for tarot, I'm going to show you how versatile these cards are and how quick and easy to read that they can be. And here's what the spread looks like. So Sasha's book is excellent. There's one spread per day, so I want to give you a sample of both her book and these cards being put to use. So let's just very quickly go through it card by card. So the first one is my personal motto is, so I'm going to put this down right here for now. We're going to pull out card 1. So the personal motto for me is, I'm a nature lover, first of all, and I love birds, and I protect nature, and I'm also the great mother, and I nurture. So here she is taking care of the woods, a bird on her hand. I don't think I could have picked a better card. So that's me. That's my motto. I also happen to have a tattoo or two, so that fits as well. The second card position is my most influential element. So let's see where that takes us. I see a sewing machine and thread and creativity, and she is making something out of nothing. And she's got a rainbow coming out of thread. And I love to sew, I love to draw, I love to write, I love to be creative. So my most influential element is great to hear that it has some influence to it, because I can't stop doing it. Number 3 represents the best color, or my best color. I thought it would be purple. Look at this. We've got, the first thing I see here is blue. So I'm going to start looking for some nice blue colors, kind of a Caribbean blue. The next question is my spirit animal. Perfecto. We've got birds here again. These are swans, and she's really walking with them, but birds are a very important thing to me, so I'm not surprised that I've got a flock of swans here. The next question is my power number. So, oh, interesting. She's got a bird again, and I don't see any number in the picture, so I'm going right to the top, and it's 33. And interesting if that's a power number, because that 33 is also a master number, and number 3 is, everything's always happened in threes to me, so that's interesting that that came up there. I'm seeing a lot of these pink trees right now, too, so that's interesting. Okay, so I'm going to flip for the next question. I got 2 more. My most ardent belief is, and I feel powerful when. So my most ardent belief is, interesting. So he's got a projector, and he's projecting up onto the wall. And this is true, actually. I do feel like we project beliefs onto people. We see everything through our own life filter. And depending on who you are or what filter you use, you see it differently. So we all tend to have a life experience through this personal filter, and 2 people with the very same experience may filter it in 2 very different ways. So that is my most ardent belief. Yeah, I would say that definitely fits. And then the last one, I feel powerful when, oh, this is nice. Actually, when I'm in solitude, when I'm writing, when I'm thinking. Look at that. And she's got the child on her, so also when I'm mothering. But there's a lot of, she's got her eyes closed, she's alone, she's going within, and I definitely think that fits. She's writing, this says Dear Diary. It's a little hard to see if this won't focus. But the Dear Diary is something also when I write a lot for myself. I journal every day. I use the cards to journal. So if this is when I feel most powerful, I guess I'm on the right track. And oh look, she's wearing her power color blue. This is my power color. So it fits. So this is the beautiful deck. I'd like to thank U.S. Games for making this available to so many people at such a reasonable price. Absolutely fun to work with. You can be really creative with it, and I invite you to take a look at this and really explore the imagery in a way that is unconstrained, unrestricted, and allow yourself perhaps to do some journaling with the booklet that can be downloaded for free, so you can explore yourself, learn about yourself, and through it all while you're reading, you can really explore the magnificent beauty of these cards. Look at that. She's under the ocean, but going up into the bubble where there's air. We know there's air because there's butterflies in there, and she's able to breathe. Enjoy this deck. Work it, own it, love it.